jumpstart this offense a little bit.
The Buckeyes in the hurry-up. On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
Well, nice job finding a crease to go get that first. And, Dave, there's just some running backs out there that feel like they have that sixth sense. They just know where the marker is. They know where that first down marker is, and they're just able to find a way to fall forward and get it.
Well, and I love when they don't dance. Know the situation, right? Don't bounce things that don't need to be bounced. When I need to stick my face in there and lower my shoulder and get a couple yards, I got to know the situation. Great job by him running the ball physical and finishing the run for a first down.
Using his legs, it's Peoples. Lowers that shoulder, delivers the blow. Touchdown, Ohio State. He ran through tackles like water through a sieve.
That's why, as a defense, you have to game tackle this guy. You've got to bring multiple bodies to the party because he's just way too strong of a runner. It's too hard to tackle this guy one-on-one, Dave.
And how about the running back, man? That's a grown man. Like, you could tell, once he gets his feet moving, he is hard to bring down, breaking tackles, making plays. This is a guy that doesn't need a great offensive line because he continues to make plays, even when they're not there to be made.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Trying to beat them to the edge with the jet sweep. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss. The Ducks now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Moore to the air. Fires to the middle. Complete to the left. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the fourth quarter. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more period to go, and we'll see just how much fight they've got left in them. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Wants to throw on first down. Completes it in the middle. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up.
And these are these moments, man, when you're trailing by a couple possessions, you've got to put it together. Your quarterback has to come through. I mean, it's not a surprise. It's going to be passes. He's got to be smart. He's got to be quick with his decision-making, and they kind of got to be up near the line of scrimmage and be in a little bit of a hurry.
Gets the back moving. Trying play action. Using his legs to buy some time. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down.
The defense is in great position right now because they've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They know the offense has to take shots to try to get themselves back in the game. So they're calling their coverages accordingly, and there was nowhere to go with that football. Really nice job by the defense being in position to force the incompletion.
And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Big tight end makes the grab, first down, still on his feet. And they finally get him to the ground. An easy conversion for this offense. Defense not exactly the perfect 4th down call there. And the Ducks are moving quickly down the field. Moore will throw. A little screen to the running back. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
Well, they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field. You saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though.
He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. Trying to take it back. He's at the 40. He's at the 20. Touchdown, Buckeyes! The defense does the work itself with a pick six. With that, they are closing in on bowl eligibility, but with this big lead and a 6-0 start, much bigger dreams for this squad.
Really got to be impressed with the defense here. Late in the game, still firing off the ball and still making plays. What a great job. Not just picking it off, but taking it all the way back to the house. That pads their lead, and that should do it. You think that should do it now to get the win.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out, not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Pocket breaking down. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And he's marked down right there, but a good pickup, and it'll be a first down.
Well, if you could give a helmet sticker to this defensive coaching staff, they would get one because of the plan they've had for this guy at wide receiver. He is one of the best in the entire country with his speed and his athleticism.
And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Ducks have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Wants to go up top. Fires to the wideout. Snagged in the middle. It's Moore. And he'll pick up the first down, but he got drilled on that tackle.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
Got his man. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
Man, the receiver right now is just living rent-free in that cornerback's head. Early in the game, caught a bunch of in-breaking routes. Now he catches the corner route. He can run the entire route tree, and right now, he's just running wide.
The Ducks will have it 1st and 10. Might be changing the route. Moore to the air. Flushed out of the pocket. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like, they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things.
And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
This quarterback has been under duress all game long. He's one of the best in the country, and he's used to having his way. He's the one who's used to dictating to opposing defenses, but that has not been the case in this game. Here we are late. He's still under pressure.
Throws toward the end zone. Wideout trying to get it in. They make the stop at the 2, but he's got enough to give them a 1st and goal.
And that's a really good example of a quarterback and his intended target both being on the same page. The timing was almost perfect on that play. That's why they were able to convert the 3rd down, now setting up 1st and goal.
And great job getting in the backfield, making it very difficult to him to make reads and understand what the heck's going on, bottling him up. That's the biggest thing. When you play a running quarterback, You want to bottle him up. You want to set those edges really, really firm and make him turn back inside where...
Max going for the goal line. Touchdown, Oregon! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Nice job by the offense going down the field, putting points on the board, but you're still down a couple possessions. Still need some good things to happen. You need your kicker to go there and get warmed up. We need an onside. We need to score some points. We need a lot of things to go right to win this football game.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, one of the biggest games of the week is playing out right now. Let's check in on this top 25 battle. BYU has the lead right now, but this LaVell Edwards Stadium crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today. They're up by 9 over Utah. They'll circle back if anything changes in this interesting Big 12 matchup. Back to you guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Looking to pass. It's Sayin. He'll off one deep down the left side. And it's intercepted, maybe breathing a little life into this team. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. First play of the drive will come from the 9-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. He's taking a deep shot. And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it. Then second down coming.
This offense isn't calling the dogs off in this game. We're here late. They're still taking shots. And a big reason why is how good this quarterback has been all game long. 4 touchdown passes. He's reading the defense. He's playing in rhythm. He's throwing on time. He's been accurate and late.
He hurls one deep down the left side. A sensational grab down the field there as they try to at least put a positive spin on the end of this game. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play, trying to preserve every minute possible. After that huge play, they'll try to finish him off with another one. It's 1st and 10 from inside the 40. Wants to go up top on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
Catch in the middle, it's play. Makes the tackle right at the 21-yard line. Pickup of 10 on the play, and his offense is threatening with a first down. To the air on first down. Going for it all. To the end zone and is picked off. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT. Finally, the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
And he's brought down after a nice game.
And this offense, you can tell, just still feeling confident. Like, they have the lead. It's the 4th quarter. First down, that's not a running play. That's a passing play. They're really in a rhythm, feeling good about themselves.
Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. The timeout stops the clock with 10 seconds to play. Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. Back to pass, it's Sayin. He unleashes a long one. Grabs it inside the 15. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Ohio State. That score will give them a little more room to operate here in the 4th quarter as they go for their 6th straight win.
Someone say run out the clock. Someone say I don't need to add points. But here's the thing. It's your job to stop them on defense. Now, listen, the handshakes, they might get a little bit interesting after this game, but the offense did their job.
The Kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. And here we go. Final play of the game right here. Looking for a crease. It's Hughes. Oh, he's got some space. That will be the final play as the clock strikes 0 here. They reeled off 6 straight to start the season, undefeated, bowl eligible, but when you have that kind of record, the possibilities seem limitless.
What a great way to start the season. The best way possible, right? Like 6-0, taking care of business, building momentum. This squad continues to climb up the ranks. They're getting better. They're getting more respect. 6-0 is the best start you could have, Palmer, but they're looking for more.
It's been really fun watching this team to get up to this point. So much talent. They've got great coaching, and I feel like they could keep that 0 in the loss column all season long if they keep playing the way they did today.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football. been said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome to the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio, and the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the Texas A&M Aggies, taking on a participant from the playoff last year, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, and guys, can't wait to get this one started. Texas A&M set to kick off to christen this game. He'll bring it back looking for help. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Wide receiver comes in motion. Dropping back, it's Sayin. Sets up the screen. Turning it on! Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35.
One of the things I love about this offense is they're very versatile in their passing attack. They throw to receivers and tight ends, and the screen game is big as well. This guy is a weapon, and you're seeing that here early.
Looking for room, it's Peoples. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Ohio State. Really interesting matchup here. It's always fun when the top two teams in the conference get to square off in the regular season. With all the expansion, it's become a little bit of a rarity, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, there's so many teams in each conference, but head-to-head still very much matters. So if you're sitting, obviously, at the top like these teams are, the head-to-head this day will really matter down the road.
Yeah, this was a game we circled way back in the preseason, expecting these two teams to be as good as they are, and now we get to find out who's the best in conference. Both these teams relishing this opportunity to show not only their opponent, but the rest of the conference who the top dog is.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. Serious arm strength on that 3rd down pass, but it's incomplete.
Well, they try to throw for it there on 3rd down on the opening drive of the game. They don't get it, but let's punt the ball away. Let's trust our defense. And, guys, let's also trust this home.
And he muffs it a loop. And now the hip knocks it loose. They make the tackle after the turnover, but hang on just a second. There's a flag on the field. Let's see if it stands. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They'll leave it with him. Runs through a tackle. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice.
Lots of room to run. He's got it inside the 10. Mark him out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
Great execution by this offense. The running game coming through, perfect fashion, breaks the big run, finishes inside the 10.
And they do a great job of blocking downfield with their wide receivers, too. And all of a sudden now, this offense knocking on the door.
Looking to get it in. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies.
And This offense shows you why they are really hard to stop. The long, explosive run. You think everybody's thinking run, pile in the box, the play-action pass. They can beat you with the run. They can beat you with the pass. This is a tough offense to stop.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. Fielded in the end zone, it's Porter. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. The toss sweep to the right. Find some fresh air. They believe in that running game. Got 6 before he stopped at the 23.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Motion from the wide receiver. The pitch to the left. Still on his feet at the 35. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. And the Buckeyes headed quickly to the line. Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. Unloads to the wideout. Got it in the middle, it's Smith. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. One of the great programs in the history of the sport, sort of built on the running game, but these days, Ohio State defined by explosive pass plays.
Yeah, and you can call yourself whatever you want. A lot of people claim different things like wide receiver U, but when you look at Ohio State, the past several years, going back 10 years probably, you could pick so many big names of guys who have been superstars, not only at the college level, but also at the NFL level.
Give to the running back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To the air. It's Sayin. Using the quick game. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
Trying to make that rush think on the draw play here. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Last play didn't go well. It leaves them with 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. Moving away from pressure. It's complete to the right. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
The Buckeyes have moved it inside the 20. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Makes the grab on the left. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. He was doing everything he could. Got away from one guy, but not that next one, and he came up short.
Yeah, he needed a few more extra efforts to find a way to make that happen. Nice catch. Nice job breaking the first tackle, but couldn't get rid of the next guy and get that extra yardage needed for the first down.
On 4th down, going to the air. Can't make the connection, and the defense gets a 4th down stop.
Nice job by the defense. Great pass defense, getting in the lanes, doing a really good job understanding they were going to throw the football in this 4th down. They played it well. Incomplete pass. Defense turns to offense.
Fly sweep coming. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
So many offenses do this, right? They run the jet sweep. This defense was more than ready. They see it all the time. They got the penetration. That play had no chance to be successful.
Dropping back, it's O'Neal. Got his man downfield. Off to the races to the right. The 20. The 10. Touchdown, Texas A&M. He got loose, and it was lights out after that.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, back to your game in a moment, but first we have to show you how the script is being written here. UTSA is currently ahead in this one inside a jam-packed Alamo Dome, but they've struggled to really pull away. They're up by 7 over Western Kentucky. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. It's a draw. They believe in that running game. Got 6 before he stopped at the 23. The Buckeyes are in the hurry-up.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at them. They're ready to go again. Back on the line of scrimmage, ready to run another.
He's going to let one fly down the middle. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down.
You know, as an offense, you just don't get that many great opportunities in games to hit these type of big-time plays. When plays like that present themselves and receivers are open, as a quarterback, you have got to make that throw.
And the Buckeyes are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Looking downfield, it's Sayin. He's got the tight end. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34.
Yeah, and obviously great play by the offense to keep the drive alive, and also a good find by the quarterback on 3rd down.
The Buckeyes getting set on 1st and 10. He wants to change this route. Here they're trying to get it to the edge. He breaks a tackle.
And every offense has plays that they really hang their hat on. And back in 1970, it was the toss. The toss play used to be the thing. You don't see as much of this nowadays. It's early in the game. Maybe it's something you wanted to show. Or, listen, maybe defensively this is something you need to start focusing on.
Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6. Back to pass. Fires the pass. Intercepted. Taking it the other way. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there.
And they don't get their hands on the ball often, but how about the big defensive linemen? When they do, it's fun to watch. It might take a while, Jesse, but he started to move that thing down the field.
He sure did. He just reminds everybody he's an athlete, too. This guy had some big-time moments in high school on the offensive side of the football, and he's living on defense in college. That's where he's going to make his money at the next level, but that was an unbelievably athletic play.
And the Aggies in a good spot here with 2nd and short. While we're only through 1, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat line. Big turning point as we head into the 2nd and get this game rolling again. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with 2nd down. They'll run the option. Brought down after keeping those powerful legs moving, get really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead.
Man, I've been really impressed with this offense this first half. Coming in a hostile environment, hostile crowd. Man, they haven't given them anything to cheer about. Offense, defense, now up 20-0, and these people are eerily quiet in here.
And they pick up the extra point. Kicker knocked it right down the middle. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. There's still plenty of time, but you see that 21-point deficit, and there is a sense of urgency now. Runs through the tackle.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Buckeyes can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Off the play fake. Throws to the wideout. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. It's loose. The offense very fortunate to get that ball back.
I got to tell you, man, I'm impressed. Not with the throw, not with the decision, but how the offense flew around after the interception, getting to the ball, David, and creating that fumble.
And I think the QB breathing a big sigh of relief. You thought you made a game-changing pick, but how about flying to the football, like you said, making the tackle, getting the football out, recovering it, and, you know, getting a first down. That's how you do it.
And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Well, you see them there taking the shot. I think the thought process is look, we've had so much success early in this game running the football. Let's see if we can now take advantage of the defense throwing the ball over their heads. They're going to be expecting run. Safeties and linebackers are all going to be playing downhill trying to stop that. If we get the one-on-one opportunities to the outside, we have got to take shots. That one fell incomplete, but they should keep trying this as the game goes on.
The short hands, it's Smith. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to move this guy everywhere. He's in the slot this time, but I'm not going to let the defense understand where he's lining up so they can double team him, put him in the slot, put him out wide. Either way, find this guy early and often.
They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40. Grabbed over the middle, it's Smith. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short.
Right there, I think you need a better play call. You got to help your quarterback out a little bit because the throw has got to at least make it to the sticks. On that last play, you're basically trusting the guy to make a few dudes miss in order to go pick up that first down. I think you need to start being a bit more aggressive here when these 3rd downs present themselves.
Makes the catch, converts on 4th down, is still on his feet. That's where they'll mark him a very productive play and a first down. He unleashed a bullet on that pass and converted the 4th down.
Gotta love it. Some people get conservative. Some people don't want to mess up. 4th down, you could tell. He wanted that window, and he threw it as hard as he could. Throws a strike to the wide receiver. Gets the big 4th down conversion.
They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
Yeah, and there you go again. Ohio State bringing the ground game. They typically do that, Reese. That's pretty normal.
They've built their entire program around it. Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. You go back to Hopalong Cassidy. I mean, the Buckeyes love to run the ball no matter how many times they spin the magic beat. Breaks into the open. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
We know football gets harder when you start to get in the red zone and the field choice. Who needs that? Break the long touchdown run. Nice job by the back. Seeing the hole, exploding through, getting a long touchdown.
On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt.
And the quarterback, pulled up to and sacked at the 12.
We're only in the first half already. This guy's got 2 TD passes, so you can see the defensive coaching staff on the sideline telling this D-line, guys, we got to get after this guy. We have to affect his rhythm and not let him be so comfortable back there. Right there, they were able to get after him. Let's see if they can keep it up.
The Aggies trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Dropping back, it's O'Neal. On the run, still looking. Rolling, throwing, looking right. In the heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He'll try to take it back. At the 20. And he's out of bounds right at the 15.
Tell you what, when you come out of your own end zone, you know, the shadow of your own end zone, a lot of bad things can happen. You want to get a few first downs, get some space, so if you punt after that point, you can pin them a little bit deep. This is the exact opposite of what happened. Now you set them up in beautiful scoring field position already. Really bad play by the offense.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Wants to adjust the pattern. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score.
Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Oh, that may be in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into it.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. But this was step one to getting them back in the ballgame.
And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. UTSA is currently ahead in this one inside a jam-packed Alamo Dome, but they've struggled to really pull away. They're up by 7 over Western Kentucky. This one has actually kind of exceeded expectations. Always a memorable chapter in the book of college football.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. That last drive ended with an interception, and this time it's paramount they take care of the ball. Breaks the tackle. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Back to throw, it's O'Neal. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Texas A&M will have to boot it away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. Slips through the line. He just about took that one all the way to the house. They finally get him down after a tremendous return. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. A first down run on the doorstep. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
This is a hard defense to run to the outside against because of their speed. You saw in that last play their ability to go sideline to sideline, win at the point of attack as they shut down that sweep.
Yeah, and it's also hard when you get in the red because what do on defense? We bring in all the big bodies, so there's not a lot of space in there to run. I like getting the ball in the perimeter. You toss it out there, you're running back. He gets out there faster. Got a positive gain. Still a couple plays here left, too.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Safe completion on the screen. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And they take it in for 6 more points.
I was so excited for this game because I just knew it was going to be a back-and-forth battle, and that's what we've seen here. Great job by the quarterback. Good decision, reading the coverage, accurate throw. They get the extra point. This thing is all knotted up.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Wants to throw. It's O'Neal. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Got a man. It's Miller. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one. They've got it at the 36. It's a 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Got 3 on 1st down and 2nd and 7. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Grabbed in the middle, it's Miller. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
Really nice job by the quarterback understanding I needed to throw this ball hard. Like, I got to fit it in there tight. And a nice job by the wide receiver wearing it because he really didn't have a choice because he was going to wear that one regardless.
Quarterback extends the play. And the quarterback is toast back at the 35.
Well, this is a quarterback who's not known for his running ability, obviously. We've seen him make some great throws, but mobility, that's probably not on your bingo card. You saw it right there. He gets brought down for the sack.
And the Aggies with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Makes the grab. And they're able to get him down.
And offensively, I love running these drag routes. I mean, these are the routes that, whether it's zone, whether it's man, they're so successful. It's just about seeing what the defense is doing and getting it to them in open space. Nice job. The wide receiver has some space after the catch, able to go make extra yards. Nice pitch and catch.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Caught over the middle. It's Owens. They pick up the 1st down. They'll mark him at the 34. Got to be expeditious here. They'll immediately call timeout. Texas A&M back to work with another 1st down. Back to pass, it's O'Neal. Throws for the tight end. Intercepted, a first-half turnover can swing momentum. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision making.
They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. Running it to the right. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a baller.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Wants to go up top. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down.
Well, the offense is doing their best to try and at least get into field goal range here at the end of the first half. So they take a vertical shot down the field, but give the defense credit. Lots of eyes back there on the quarterback. They're able to break on the ball and make sure that throw falls incomplete.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He's not afraid to go deep. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down.
Wow, that quarterback is lucky there. If you're going to take a chance like that on 3rd down in your end of the field, you better be right, because that should have been picked and returned for a touchdown. This offense is lucky now they're getting a chance to punt this ball away.
Push it back 5 yards. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Looking to throw, it's O'Neal. Dumps it to the back. Pulls it in, it's Owens. The offense calls timeout, and they won't have any more left this half. Just enough time to get off one final play in the half. Second and short, maybe looking for a shot. Grab near the sticks. It's Miller. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Buckeyes will kick it off to start the second half. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
This offense is perfectly fine with a little game because they're going to make you tackle this all game long. They're going to make you think all game long. So they'll keep running it ad nauseum and just wait for that one opportunity when you don't do your assignment.
With the catch, it's Miller. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on third down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Texas A&M ready to go with another first down. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. And here comes the offense on second down. To the air, it's O'Neal. Throws to the tight end. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on third. And it's picked off for the third time today. Didn't really get a chance to get started on that return, but he has set him up at the 41-yard line.
And if you're the quarterback, you might want to stop throwing that guy's way. I mean, you knew coming into this game, David, he's one of the best corners in the entire country. He's already been picked off twice now. He is literally living in this quarterback's head rent-free.
And so nice to have a guy like this that can cut off half the field. Because now you can put resources elsewhere. He's proven if you try me, bad things are going to happen.
The Buckeyes racing to the line in the hurry-up.
And after that run, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage to go hurry-up, defense has to be ready.
To the air on second down. With the catch, it's Peoples. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. That one's sort of like a shooter in basketball, just needing to see one go through the net, isn't it, David? Just get a completion to your guy and pick up some yardage.
Build some confidence, because your confidence throwing the ball over the middle of the field and in tight windows, probably not at an all-time high, but check it down, make something positive happen. The running back does his job, so maybe this sparks a little something in the quarterback's head where he can feel a little bit more confident and bounce back from these early mistakes.
The Buckeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. Tight end now in motion. Toss sweep to the left. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard. And the Buckeyes now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Looking for a man. It's Sayin. Got it in the middle. It's Smith. They get him stopped, but the big gain has them on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws, just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Wide receiver going in motion. Going to swing it on second down. They'll run the screen, and that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
Man, on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires on the move. And that is interception number 3 on the day. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return.
And this guy's just never been able to get into a rhythm all game long, whether it's been because of pressure or the defense disguising their coverages. He just doesn't seem right. And as a result, he's now thrown 3 picks in this game.
Here's the handoff. They make the stop after a gain of 3 to the 31.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
To throw, it's O'Neal. Here's a hit. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job by the defense there. First off, getting pressure initially and then forcing him outside the pocket. After that, excellent effort. All eyes on the quarterback. And you see the speed this defense has. They're going to be putting a lot of heat on this guy throughout the game.
Caught near the sticks. It's Owens. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43.
And a great job by the QB finding the running back, getting the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
Offense lines up for a 1st and 10 from the 43. Looking downfield on first down. Catch in the middle. It's Owens. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
The screen, he's got wheels. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on second down. They'll move the tight end. Back to pass on second down. And it's picked off for the 4th time today. Didn't get a chance to show off those return skills, but he gives his offense the ball up for 29.
And another mistake from this quarterback. That's back-to-back drives now that have resulted in interceptions. He's got to find a way to find something different, get in a better rhythm, start seeing the field better, Palmer, because he's not in a flow right now.
No, David, it looks like he's forcing the football a little bit, maybe trying to make up for that interception he threw on the last drive. But that last play, there was no way that football should have gone there. He could have gotten off of that, checked it down, or thrown it away. This quarterback, he needs a breather right now. He's got to collect himself.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Motion from the wideout. Looking downfield. It's Sayin. Oh, they're after him. And to get rid of it quickly. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down.
A really good job by the defense. They got to understand that boy can fly. So when he gets outside the pocket, I got to make sure I'm ready to go get him. You could tell he was still being a passer. He wanted to throw the football. Nice job closing under control, getting a hit on the quarterback, and affecting the throw.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Second down, he'll throw it. He rifles one deep to the left. And a big play on the outside. What a... to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion. He is an absolute blur out there, and it doesn't take him many grabs to have that yards per catch through the roof, sort of like Paris Campbell has done or David Boston back in the day.
And these are the guys that scare the absolute mess out of you because they can fly. They run right by you, and you're a corner. You're backing up because you're so scared of their speed, and you could see it was on full display there.
Out of the gun, the inside give. Finds just enough room to pick up a couple down to the 26. We've been treated to an aerial show by these two guys so far as you check out their numbers. This is when winning plays are made, and we start right now in the 4th. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. Trying to impose their will with the run. What a nice job by the defense to string it out, not give him any kind of alley, and knock him down for a loss.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
To the air, it's Sayin. That third down pass was coming in hot before it fell to the ground.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. Oh, he missed it. No good. After that failed field goal attempt, fellas, still tie ball game.
And that one stings, man. 4th quarter tie football game. You trusted your kicker to come through, and he gives you the dreaded doink. And that means you know it was so close to being in, that one might come back to bite him.
Direct snap. Creates a little space. There he goes. He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stopped.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice. He can outrun those angles and make enormous plays.
They'll run it on 1st and goal. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
Speed kills this offense. They've got multiple guys that can burn you. And you can see it doesn't take them long to light up the scoreboard.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. The extra point is good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. Kent State has been blitzed from the opening kick, and as you can see, the score right now is a lot to a little. Let's see how this coach tries to explain this. They're trailing by 14 to Oregon State. We'll circle back if anything big happens you should know about.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Things had not gone the way they had planned, but maybe an opportunity to salvage this bumpy ride so far and avoid the upset. Snagged in the middle. It's Roberts. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Oh, that's just really nice catch by the big tight end. Throwing those mitts up there, catching the football.
They came out humming on this drive, and now it's 1st down from the 36. They'll send the tight end in motion. Trying to get the edge on the right. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. The Buckeyes want to pick up the tempo.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
Back to throw. It's Sayin. Fires to the wideout. Got a man in the middle. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the 1st down?
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the 2nd half. It's 1st and 10. Card in the backfield. It's Peoples. Finds a little space. They'll make the stop, and not before they use the screen beautifully and pick up the first down.
Great job, too, by the QB there, holding the ball as long as possible, allowing the pass rush to get upfield, and at the very last second, getting it to his guy so that he can go get the first down.
In search of that tying touchdown. They've moved the chains a couple of times. It's 1st and 10 again. They'll move the wide receiver. Looking to throw on first down. Got his man quickly. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. Now on 2nd down. Looking to throw again. Catch in the middle, it's Graham.
And they've trusted him to throw the football all game. And I expect nothing to change whatsoever. They're going to put it on his back, or his arm, I guess you could say, and let him throw this team to victory. It's a close game, tight game. I'm rolling with my best player.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Looking to throw, it's Sayin. Unloads to the wideout. And they're not on the same page there.
Well, no mystery here. 3rd and California late in the game. Defense knows they're going to throw it, so they're going to have a lot of guys back in zone coverage. And these guys up front are going to be pinning their ears back. Quarterback better have the clock going off in his head.
Ball's at the 24. A lot of confidence in their kicker from here, but they'd love to take it off of his foot and convert the first down. He's looking downfield to throw. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Can't make the catch on 3rd down, and the rarest of drops for this guy.
I know they've got all their timeouts left, but it feels like this is the ball game right here. 4th down, the quarterback's got to do something special, knowing that they need a touchdown here to win.
Down a possession here in the 4th, and they'll need to convert on this 4th down. He'll go up top, maybe a deciding play here. Another interception. That's his 4th of the day. Takes it the other way. He's inside the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Aggie. And they turn it into a defensive score. With that, the lead nice and comfortable, and they're cruising toward a 4-0 start.
Man, what a play by this defense. You're trying to get the ball back to your offense, trying to salt this game away and get the win. Not only do you create the turnover, you get the touchdown. Now you take a 2-score lead late in this ball game. This defense just stepped up in a big moment.
From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. drive opens up at the 23-yard line. To the air, it's Sayin. Looking to the big tight end. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on first down.
I love that play call by the offensive coordinator. Your quarterback just threw a pick six. You want to pick him right back up, right? So don't handcuff him. On the very first play of the next drive, let him throw the football to try to reestablish a rhythm and reestablish some confidence. Obviously, that one falls incomplete, but they need to get this guy back into a rhythm. The only way you do that is by throwing the ball.
And that is his 5th interception, a nightmare he is not waking up from. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Well, it's a nice interception. At this point of the game, up 2 possessions in a 2-minute situation, the offense is so predictable. You know they're going to throw the football. So everybody on defense, they're just trying to see the ball thrown and then breaking on it. Nice job coming away with that turnover.
Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming.